Good morning, ma'am. So I will be reporting about the Proto-Indo-European and Proto-Indo-Germanic. So first is what is Proto-Indo-European? So Proto-Indo-European is a hypothetical reconstructed language considered the ancestor of the Indo-European language family, which includes languages like English, Spanish, Hindi, and many more. It's a language not directly attested but reconstructed by linguists through comparative linguistic analyzing the common roots and sound changes of its descendant languages. So next is we have Proto-Indo-European is not a language that was ever directly written down or recorded. Instead, it's a linguistic hypothesis based on the similarities between various Indo-European languages. So, means that the notion of Indo-European is essential based on linguistic evidence, that is, the systematic homologies that exist between several ancient languages, for example, the Greek, the Latin, Avestan, Old Norse, Old Irish, and so on, that we can conclude that this language just sprung from a common origin. So PIE is believed to have had an elaborate system of morphology that included inflectional suffixes as well as ablative and accent. So PIE nominals and pronouns had a complex system of declension, and verb similarities had a complex system of conjugation. The PIE phonology, practicals, numerals, and copula are also well reconstructed. Words such as WOD are used by linguistics as a conventional mark of reconstructed words, and these forms are the reconstructed ancestor of modern English words, water, hound, and tree, respectively. So next is it is believed to be the root from which all Indo-European languages, including English, French, German, Hindi, Greek, and Russian, evolved. Next is it's estimated to have been spoken approximately 4,500 years ago in what is now southern Russia and Ukraine, according to the study.com that I have searched. And it is estimated to have been spoken approximately 4,500 years ago is what now southern Russia and Ukraine. So Proto-Indo-European is hypothesized to have been spoken as a single language from approximately 4,500 BCE to 2500 BCE during the late Neolithic to early Bronze Age. Though estimates vary by more than 1,000 years according to the prevailing Corgan hypothesis. So according to the Corgan hypothesis, the original homeland of the Proto-Indo-Europeans may have been in the Pontic-Caspian steppe of Eastern Europe. So but the hypothesis of Corgan tells that the Proto-Indo-European may have been in the Pontic-Caspian steppe of Eastern Europe. So next we have it's estimated to have been spoken. Okay, next. So the Indo-European family covers a vast geographical area from Europe and the Iranian plateau to northern India and parts of the Asia. The Indo-European language family, so the meaning is, kung ano ang Indo-European family, is a large group of languages spoken across Europe and Asia, including English, Spanish, German, Russian, Greek, Sanskrit, and many others. So believed to have originated from a common ancestor, Proto-Indo-European, which was spoken in the region north of the Black Sea. Most languages of the world can be combined into one of many language families. Language families are groups of languages that all descend from a common ancestor. Indo-European is the largest language family on Earth, encompassing languages spoken by about 2.3 million, 3.2 billion people, of 42% of the world's population. So this family includes hundreds of languages from places as far apart from one another as Iceland and Bangladesh. All Indo-European languages descend from a language known as Proto-Indo-European or PIE, which was spoken from my Hagina, humble ko, from 4,500 and 2,500 BCE, between that. So next is linguistic reconstruction. So historical linguistics use methods like comparing words and grammar structures and different. So historical linguists employ comparative methods. Nagamit sila ng comparative methods primarily by analyzing shared vocabulary and grammatical structure across various Indo-Europeans to reconstruct Proto-Indo-European, an ancestral language from which these languages are believed to have descent. So I have a meaning about the gingamit nilang method, which is the comparative method. So this method involves comparing different languages and their dialects to identify similarities and differences. So linguists look for words and grammatical features that appear in multiple related languages and can be traced back to a common origin. By comparing these features and understanding sound changes, linguists can reconstruct PIE. So, bali sa paggamit ni compared, so linguists can reconstruct the PIE, including its vocabulary, grammar, and phonology. The comparative method helps establish genetic relationships between the languages and determine the branching within a language family. So, amo na siya. That's it for the Proto-Indo-European. Next we have the not a single your language. It's important to remember that Proto-Indo-European was not a single monolithic language, but rather a variety of dialects that eventually split into different branches. So, what do we call about a single your language? So, ano na siya? The idea of single your language from which all languages are descendant is a complex one. While PIE is a significant ancestral language, it's not the only one, and many languages has evolved independently. So the idea of single your language from which all language eventually develop is a concept that's been explored, particularly in the concept of Proto-Indo-European or PIE. While there's a strong scientific consensus that PIE was a single language spoken in Eurasia, not all languages are believed to be descendant from it. PIE is considered a reconstructed ancestral language, but it's not the only language family, and many languages around the world are not part of the Indo-European family, including those from Africa, Asia, and the Americas. So, it is important to remember for us that the Proto-Indo-European is not a single monolithic language, but rather a variety of dialects. So, nagkalain-lain ng mga dialects that eventually split into different branches. So next we have what is Proto-Indo-Germanic? In summary we have Proto-Germanic, a reconstructed ancestor language, is the root from which all Germanic language. So Kagina, it is a European. So now we have the Germanic. So Proto-Germanic is which all Germanic languages Siya ni ang roots sang tanan nga Germanic languages, including English, German, and Swedish, are believed to have evolved. It's a branch of the Indo-European language family. It is one of the branch of Indo-European language family, ang Proto-Indo-Germanic. And speakers are thought to have lived in Northern Europe during the Iron Age. Proto-Germanic later split into three distinct Germanic languages: the Western Germanic, North Germanic, and East Germanic. So we have it's a member of the Germanic branch of the Indo-European language family. The Germanic languages are a branch of the Indo-European language family spoken natively by a population of about 515 million people, mainly in Europe, North America, Oceania, and Southern Africa. The most widely spoken Germanic language, English, is also the world's most widely spoken language, with an estimated 2 billion speakers. So next we have, while not a language spoken historically, it's a linguistically reconstructed language, meaning is a model of the language spoken before the divergence of its descendants. So next we have the Iron Age origin. The speakers of Proto-Germanic are thought to have inhabited Scandinavia during the Iron Age. So we have this. The Iron Age in Scandinavia and Northern Europe is generally considered to have begun around 500 BCE, with the just turf culture, and continued around 800 AD with the Vikings Age. So the assertion the speakers of Proto-Germanic inhabited Scandinavia during the Iron Age is inaccurate. Proto-Germanic is believed to have been the ancestor of all modern Germanic languages. The Germanic tribes who spoke Proto-Germanic are thought to have emerged in Scandinavia during the pre-Roman Iron Age. So what do we call about the Jastorf culture? So this archaeological culture is associated with the early Germanic peoples in the regions of Scandinavia and northern Germany. So next we have a next it branched into north. Okay, we have what we call a tree branch of distinct Germanic branches, which is the North Germanic, which includes Icelandic and Swedish. Next is West Germanic, including the English, German, and Dutch, and the East Germanic, which are now extinct. So first is the North Germanic. It includes languages like Icelandic, Faroese, Norwegian, Danish, and Swedish. So these languages are descended from Old Norse, the language of the Vikings. So the West Germanic naman includes languages like English, German, Dutch, Frisian, and Yiddish. These languages developed primarily in areas around the North Sea, and were also carried overseas by their speakers. So the next is the East Germanic, now extinct, including languages like Gothic, Burgundian, and Vandalic. The Gothic language is notable as the language of the Gothic Bible, one of the earliest extensive Germanic texts. So next, next. One of the defining features of Proto-Germanic's separation from Proto-Indo-European is Germ's law, which describes sound changes. So what do we call about the Germ's law? Germ's law is the name for sound laws in Proto-Indo-European languages. In the first millennium BC, some sounds in these languages changed. The law is named after the German linguist Jacob Grimm. So, this law is named after the German Jacob Grimm, who described the sound changes in the early 19th century. So, Grimm's law, also known as the first Germanic sound shift or the change of the sound, is a set of sound laws describing the Proto-Indo-European stop consonants as they developed in Proto-Germanic in the first millennium BC. First discovered by Erasmus Ras, but systematically put forward by Jacob Grimm. So, first gina naka-discover is Erasmus Ras, and then put forward into Jacob Grimm. So, it establishes a set of regular correspondence between early Germanic stops and fricatives and stop consonants of certain other Indo-European languages. So next, we have a influence on modern languages. So Proto-Germanic is the ancestor of modern Germanic languages like English, German, Swedish, Dutch, and many more others. So we have tackled it about Kagina. So Proto-Germanic is indeed the ancestor of modern Germanic languages like English, German, Swedish, Dutch, and others. It's the hypothetical reconstructed language from which all Germanic languages are believed to have descended. Over time, as Germanic tribes migrated and dispersed, their language evolved and diversified, leading to the formation of the different branches of the Germanic language family we see today. So that is all. Thank you for listening and watching.